your love at all. At all. At all. At all.
Greetings, I am Malficious, and I'm back with more of DC Universe Online. And, well, you may be wondering, why is Doomgun on top of a rooftop in Gotham City and not in a nightclub in Metropolis? Or possibly you're wondering why there were no videos last week. Well, last week I set up the recording stuff. I set up Audacity, I set up NVIDIA GeForce Experience. And, well, GeForce Experience was quite an update for new drivers. And so, I started playing the game after the update had completed. And I made sure to start recording the audio, but I forgot to record the video. So, an entire session was lost. And anyway, here's what you missed. The Green Lantern Corps and Sinestro Corps' rings aren't working properly, so we had to help the Sinestro Corps beat up the Green Lanterns. Helped Sinestro fight John Stewart. Made an observation about how Hal Stewart from Megamind's name is a combination of Green Lanterns, Hal Jordan, and John Stewart. And then came back to Gotham, broke into a Wayne Tech warehouse to steal a bunch of industrial-grade diamonds, but had to give them over to Mr. Freeze so he wouldn't kill us. So we're here now in Gotham Hospital, because we're going to betray Mr. Freeze shortly. But yeah, it's really unfortunate I lost that entire session. Although it gave me time off to do more personal stuff, mostly gaming for myself.
Hey, you're in tight with Freeze, right? The Scarecrow back at Arkham wants a favor. Some of these cops here were nuked with fear gas back in the East End. We need blood samples to see how long the fear gas keeps its effects. Get them any way you want. The boss doesn't care what happens to them as long as he gets his samples.
It didn't give me the quest because I was interrupted. Fantastic.
Hey, you're in tight with Freeze, right? The Scarecrow back at Arkham wants a favor. Some of these cops here were nuked with fear gas back in the East End. We need blood samples to see how...
Gotham SCU.
It's kind of interesting. It sort of ties into the storyline of tech heroes, I think, because you fight Scarecrow first in the East End. But yeah, there's also some other stuff I talked about last time. I talked about comics I had picked up. So I briefly went over the list of comics I had talked about before. And,
Ivy, you don't see the cold truth. Without these machines, my dearest Nora will never be free of her icy tomb. Frostbitten plants are the least of my worries.
So yeah, once again, here's the list of old comics I talked about. Captain America, Sam Wilson, Volume 1, Not My Captain America. Captain America, Sam Wilson, Volume 2, Standoff. Captain Marvel, Volume 1, Rise of Alpha Flight. Birds of Prey, Volume 1, Trouble in Mind. And Uncanny X-Men.
New villains. Watch your back.
Call for backup.
Okay, that's not really fair. And Uncanny X-Men Volume 1. I didn't think I had hit her. But, well, what do I know? And it deactivated fast travel mode, so... but yeah, I ended up returning all those comic books and picking up some new ones, as well as a novel I had put a hold on. It's specifically it's The Last Wish, the first of the Witcher novels. But yeah, in addition to that, I picked up 2 additional Marvel comics. I picked up Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur Volume 1 BFF, and Captain Marvel Volume 1 In Pursuit of Flight.
Are the SCU boys almost done?
And that Captain Marvel one's interesting because it's at the point where Carol Danvers actually takes the title of Captain Marvel for herself. So, if you want to know all about why Carol Danvers is Captain Marvel, that'll be the one to look at.
Where's our backup?
Yeah, and Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is also pretty interesting. It's a pretty kid-friendly comic book, although, well, pretty much all Marvel comics are, well, most of the Marvel comics are kid-friendly. But I'd say Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur much more so, considering the main protagonists are an elementary school-aged girl and and a giant dinosaur, of course. And it's kind of interesting. Apparently, Devil Dinosaur was originally created by Jack Kirby. And if you're pretty familiar with comic books, you'll definitely recognize the name Jack Kirby.
Neutralize and see if we can salvage the mission.
I picked up one other comic book while I was at the library, which is pretty interesting to me. It's The Finder Library Volume 1. And, well, The Finder's a rather unique comic. It was originally self-published by the author back in the 90s, I think.
Tango spotted us. Neutralize and see if we can salvage the mission.
Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. Oh, right. Yeah, you can probably tell I've also rearranged my action bar, because there were some significant changes to the game about 2 weeks ago. First of all, yeah, traits have been changed around, so you get your powers automatically as you level up. I gained 2 levels in the failed to record session, so I now have Photon Blast and EMP Pulse. I suppose I kinda like this, because you don't really have to take powers you don't want to get to powers you do want anymore. But I don't know, it feels like they pretty much took a leaf out of what World of Warcraft has been doing. But yeah, they also revamped the stat system to make them more important. So a lot of gear pieces gained, well, they had their stat boosts readjusted. Oh yeah, I also picked up the dual pistol skill. Haven't really tried it out that much. But yeah, they also reworked weapon trees, so I had to redistribute skill points into rifle proficiency. And there's not really ways to boost points while using rifle anymore, but I do have rifle mastery now, and use dual pistol to form a high damage version of full auto? Okay. Okay, so I can use some of my rifle skills now, I think, with dual pistols. And then I could also, if I get one-handed skill, I could take these skills and then use air launch and flurry with. Hold on, no, it's right-click and hold. Okay, wait. Let's see if I can actually get that. So is it right-click, hold, forward, hold, or is it only, or is that with dual pistols? Yeah, the dual pistols are much better than my current rifle. I don't know, it doesn't seem to be working. I'm much more used to the rifle style, so but yeah, that's pretty much the big changes to the game. So, anyway, back to the Finder. It's kind of interesting. I discovered Finder, I think, a few years ago, maybe more. I'm not exactly certain anymore. I was at this comic book store I don't normally go to because it's kind of out of my way.
11.99. Request assistance.
And I don't know, I wasn't really planning on buying anything, but there was a copy of Finder King of Cats there, so that caught my interest. I'm not exactly sure how to describe Finder again. I didn't do a great job of it in the failed recording session. But, well, the premise is you've got the main protagonist. He's...
Damn it! We've been spotted.
Well, he's Native American. And he's part of a secret society called Finders. Basically...
Compromised.
Oh.
Where's our backup?
Basically, he can find just about any... Well, he tries to find... he can try and find just about anything for anyone. Oh, come on. Okay. So... Yeah, I can't explain it very well, and it's not really a comic book for children, more like teens and adults. It's got some pretty heavy themes, really. While I heavily recommend reading it, and you'll have to read it several times to understand it.
Charges Tango spotted us. Neutralize and see if we can salvage the mission.
Yeah, it's definitely... Finder's definitely a very complex comic book. But yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, originally the author self-published it, but the Finder library is put out by Dark Horse Comics, so I guess they obtained rights somehow, at least publishing rights. I don't know. But well, King of Cats is pretty interesting, although that while you don't have to read the previous stories to understand it, it kind of helps. But it does kind of work on its own. But yeah, no, Finder Library Volume 1 has like the first 4. What in the world is that below my... Or is it the freeze machine's health? Right there in the upper left below Doomgun's stat bar. Yeah, it must have been the freeze machine. Okay, and Black Canary's still there, so better try to avoid her. So you've got a glimpse of Black Canary now.
I got this one.
I mean, I've just been talking about her a lot in the previous session, so...
I'm freezing my butt off out here.
Okay, so that's the Scarecrow mission done with.
Ow. Where's our backup?
But yeah, I've been enjoying my time away from recording and uploading. I've been playing a lot more games. Well, not a lot more. I've been playing games a lot more. I've sunk a lot of time into Heroes of the Storm one day, mostly because they had for the week prior to when this came out, they put Dehaka and Jaina Proudmoore on sale with gems. So I used my gems to purchase Dehaka. I used some gold to purchase Probius, and then I had to grind up to level 125 to get some more gems to purchase Jaina. Although, maybe I should have held on to my gems and for another hero, considering apparently Jaina's only 4,000 gold right
We're
now.
compromised.